Sorry for this long post, but it has come to my attention that John Doe made a comment saying, "I'm trying to get an appointed position. I was never promised anything. I am doing this of my own free will. I'm doing this because the man who is running for UAW President, Brian Keller, helped me navigate my way through a corrupted UAW with a broken grievance system that was being used to keep me out of a job. The individual was once a local rep, a 1700 steward for Trim. Now let me go into a broken democratic system that elected officials try to manipulate and bully UAW members out of their free democratic process. When I announced that I was running for steward, the problem started with John Doe. There was terrible representation from John Doe as he was the alternate steward for Trim 1 at that time. Exhibit 1. On February 23rd, I was on the door line. I was the first person to go to the cubicle to receive a write-up for calling off FMLA. At the time, President Lewis Paul made a statement that the company couldn't give us any points for that day due to their call-off system crashing. I went to the cubicle where John Doe was standing right there with Carol, the supervisor of the door line. He demanded I sign the suspension slip for 10 days. After I refused, he tried to sign my name. I requested to go to labor. I had to go to labor and state the language to the representative for her to say he was good to go. I also contacted the committeeman so I could go to HR. Throughout that year, John Doe had been harassing me, making threats towards me to cause bodily harm. I called multiple meetings with President Louis Paul and the committeeman to mediate between me and John Doe. Almost every meeting, I was threatened so badly that Committeeman Ron had to intervene and break up a fight multiple times. This brings us to the week of November 8th, 2021. John Doe was riding with Jabron, the Trim 2 steward at the time. As I went to the restroom on lunch, I came back to my job. People on the line were telling me I was about to fight John Doe, that he and Jabron pulled up, and he was yelling and cursing, looking for me. I am aware of the situation, so I was on guard. Exhibit B. I texted the steward, Desiree, at 10:51, asking her why he was trying to fight me. Of course, she lied, so I called another mediation meeting. He stated we didn't have an issue. Come November 9th, John Doe came to my station, acting as a steward, while the steward, Desiree, was present on the floor. As he was having a conversation with an employee across from me, I looked up and saw John Doe staring me down in an aggressive manner. I asked him a question. He never responded. At the time, I let my team leader know I was uncomfortable and asked to go to HR and get policy forms. I did not write a statement when I went to labor. I was trying to keep it in the union. I asked for the policy form and told the labor rep, Cynthia Brown, that I will probably be a target now and get fired. As I left, the steward, Desiree, and John Doe saw me leaving that area. I received a Facebook DM from a witness stating that the steward, Desiree, called the team and asked them to lie for them and say, "You heard Thomas call John Doe the N-word." Now I go to HR to give my statement, requesting that the steward, Jabron of Trim 2, be present since he was present for the lunch incident when John Doe came to fight me. He stated he did not want to get in between both of us. So, as appointed officials, you refused to speak the truth to protect a member from a corrupt steward. During the investigation, a witness came forward and wanted to tell what they witnessed. Exhibit C. She stated that when she went to give her statement, Union Rep Desiree and HR Rep Cynthia Brown threatened the witness, told them to be quiet, or you can be on Van Dyke like him, during the investigation. Louis Paul refused to give a statement pertaining to the threats during the mediation that I was calling. Fast forward to May 2022, during the swearing-in of elected officials at Region 1. John Doe saw me at the meeting. He was angry that I had filed NLRB charges. So, this time, in front of the elected officials and international reps, I reminded him I was there to talk about my grievance and getting my job back. The confrontation was bad, as John Doe tried to attack me from behind, causing a big commotion. Ron, the committeeman from Chassis, had to physically break it up. Vice President Polo and Bell were walking me to my car. As I stated to them, I am calm. As you see, John Doe keep yelling and trying to run up and attack me. Contradicting the trim committeeman, Don's statement that he gave HR, he told me that a person staring at you do not mean they trying to harm you. Not one local rep came out and spoke. I filed a police report, but the new president, Charles Bell, refused to include that report in my grievance package. Why is that? Because one of the people the steward, Desiree, asked to lie was his niece. I was almost gone for 2 years, which I assumed meant that as a paying union member, I had a right to run for an open position. Who helped me navigate through the corruption? Brian Keller.